Okay, so JB, I guess is that your name, JB? So, yeah, no, I thought your response to my video was 100% honest. So let's take it from there. I took it all as constructive criticism and healthy constructive criticism at that. So let's examine what you said. One, your video with Peter, I don't like the way Peter went at you in the later parts of the video. I understand his reasoning for pressing, but could have been handled more civilized. I also think you get worked up too easily. It appeared that way with Peter and Doug. I understand you are passionate, yes, about this topic, and that's where it comes from, but chill out a little. Yeah, no, I agree, and I don't remember if I said it in the moment on Peter's show, and I don't remember if I did say to both of them, I could have chilled out too. I even said it on the video. Yes, I agree. I could have been a lot more contained about it. There's no reason for me to get all excited on my end. It was a little more justified with Doug, to be quite honest with you, because Doug's line of questioning was flawed from its premise. Let's put it that way. I get that Doug doesn't think that a spiritual experience is valid or actually occurred. But he was asking me questions to try and prove to me and to his audience that I was deluded or that it didn't occur. Those aren't really honest questions. They're really not. It's not allowed in a court of law. It's called leading the witness. I get that he has his own belief on the subject, but if he's honestly asking me questions, he can't just ask me questions to prove that he's right, because that's what he was really doing. And almost anybody would get a little defensive under the circumstance. I didn't have to get as defensive as I got, but honestly, he was putting me on the defense. He wasn't honest, and he wouldn't hear me when I respond. He wouldn't hear and organically respond to me. He'd hear and then shift gears and go, and then start, it wasn't really, his line of questioning is based on street epistemology, okay? I'd be really honestly surprised if that's how Anthony Magnabosco handles it. I only watched a few of Anthony Magnabosco's videos, and if that's what Magnabosco's doing, I can't tell from the outside. I doubt it, because people would be getting annoyed with that. It's really obvious when you're experiencing it for yourself that that's what's going on. He was asking me questions to show me and his audience, or his audience rather, maybe he didn't care what I believed, but to show his audience that I was either deluded or just plain wrong. And it was obvious. If Anthony Magnabosco did that in street epistemology, people would get annoyed, and they'd be like, and they'd just walk away, and then wasn't listening to my answers and responding. Again, if Anthony Magnabosco did that in his street epistemology, maybe people are getting annoyed and walking away and go, you're not listening, and walking away, and he's just not posting those videos. But people would be getting annoyed with him and walking away and saying, you're just not listening to me. No, that's not what I said. No, because he was asking questions to prove his case. That's obnoxious. For example, I had Drew on my show, right? Drew is an atheist. I don't think Drew is correct in his atheism. I asked him questions. I listened to his answers. Then I asked him other questions, honestly inquiring about his beliefs and how they came in his life and things like that. I wasn't asking him questions to prove to him that atheism was wrong, or to prove to my audience that Drew was wrong about atheism. If I did that, he'd start getting defensive. Why? Because I'd be putting him on the defense, because it would be a dishonest type of questioning. In when I'm questioning atheists, ideally, you should know that I have a dog in the fight. You should know that I'm a Christian when I'm asking an atheist questions. It shouldn't be obvious. That's called journalism. That's how a journalist should be. I just try and get at the truth, the facts. He wasn't just asking me fact-based questions and listening to my answers. So that's that. Peter was fine. Like I said, Peter was fine for the most part. We both got a little excited at the end. It was 2 hours too. 2 hours and I was starting to get worn out. So it's no big deal. Now, as far as the thing that I posted to you, yes, I agree. It's not a syllogism. Yeah, I believe a syllogism is 2-3 premises as well. So what is it? It's loosely based on a syllogism. I'm calling it that. It's more just an argument thingy-mabob device. How's that? It's not very good? Okay. It's an argument thingamabob device. What I'm trying to establish is only the first two premises. That's it. The rest of the stuff is irrelevant so far. But you noticed in that debate with Peter that it took me a while to even get them to agree to those first two premises. Now that's not very reasonable, and that's on them. Okay? You agreed to the first two premises immediately, correct? Okay, now you and I are now on the same page. That's why I chose those two premises. No, it's not a syllogism. I'm not trying to prove anything with the conversation. I'm just trying to get us on the same page where we both agree so we can have an honest conversation. Realistically, in the moment, okay, am I realistically going to, I'm on a chat show with an atheist or I'm having a conversation with an atheist. Am I realistically going to get you to think that Jesus rose from the dead? No. Am I realistically going to get you to turn into a Christian in a conversation? No. Am I trying to prove that? No. What am I trying to do? I'm just trying to get us on the same page so we can have an honest conversation about my faith. And if we have an honest conversation about my faith, the only thing I'm thinking I can get you to see is that there is some truth in it. Period. Hallelujah. That's it. Well, that's easy. It should be easy. Why? Because there is some truth in it. But you even saw that night, it wasn't that easy. It wasn't that easy. It was easy to get you to agree to the first two premises, right? The Bible's a book of stories. The Bible's a book of stories with truth in it. No, that doesn't prove God at all. I wasn't saying that it does. From there, we can start an honest conversation though. From there, we can examine, the subject from the same page, having an honest conversation about it, where we both at least agree from the start on something that's reasonable. And honestly, if an atheist can't agree to those first two premises, I'm not sure I want to talk to them. Because those first two premises I chose on purpose. They're eminently reasonable, okay? And nobody should have any problem with them. If somebody does, I'm not sure I want to discuss anything with them past that point. But yeah, okay, so let me just see what else he said. Yes, because people believe they were inspired by God, it doesn't prove God. Yes, absolutely. Also presupposing the very thing you are trying to prove. No, I'm not trying to prove. This isn't a syllogism. I'm calling it a syllogism. I don't know what. You know what it was? It was an argument thingamabob. How's that? Is that better? It's terrible. It's not a syllogism. It's an argument thingamabob to just try and start an honest conversation on the subject. The only thing I'm trying to prove, and prove is even too strong of a word, the only thing I'm trying to demonstrate is that there is truth, some truth in my faith, period. That's it. That's my bar. It's not very high. It should be easy to do. That's it. That's all I'm trying to prove. I'm not thinking that these prove God at all. They're just to get you thinking on the subject, period. Amen.